What is up, everyone? This is going to be my Taliyah jungle video, and I'm going to go over everything you need to know on how to play her build, and which is the best options for her. For starters, Taliyah jungle extremely good into, picks that want to dash, like Jax jungle. Matchups wise, we have Gragas versus Gnar, we have me versus Jax, Tristana versus Twisted Fate, Jinx Brand versus Zeri Janna. So it's important to understand matchups. When you play Taliyah jungle, really about farming, but also ganking when we have setup. So Gragas Sun, for example, is a lane that gives us setup. Tristana is an all-in champion mid. Bot lane is range versus range support. Whenever you have like range versus range support, it's sort of it's quite easy. It's quite important to actually path towards it because it can lead to a lot of kills. And right now, in my opinion, the meta is very much favoring just getting bot lane ahead. I mean, grubs are good. I do like my grubs. I'm a grub man, but it's also extremely important to just kind of play around that. So here our build's going to be Luden's Companion into, like a Liandry's build. You always want to queue. You can queue more depending on how early you are on whichever side you want to be. But every time you queue, it leaves a work ground area that stuns and creates this sort of boulder that you see right underneath us, which is really good for just clearing the jungle, as you can see me doing. And the boulder is good for single target camps. And here we're going to go E level 2. And the stun is really OP. So you can see it stuns for quite a while. You don't really need to kite all that much when you're playing her right now. Her clear is actually very, very healthy. Here, I'm able to kind of do that. Should be able to kite him out here. Auditing up is actually quite good. Jax a level 2 invade. That's actually crazy to see. I think we can kill him here if he's on my wolf camp. So I want Tristana to come first. And I'm going to just set up a trap there. The moves are very insane. Here I'm going to try to stay in the edge where I have vision. And the edge is pretty much where you see I am. And Jax is, well, he's a single camp, so that's a good way to survive that invade. Kind of interrupted me going into my thoughts, but I'm pretty much happy with getting out like that. Jax is a cheeser. We got our Grom. When you get in champs, when you play against champs like that do that really disgusting kind of like level 2 invade cheese, you always want to make sure that you're able to get the camp if you can. The camp itself is the most important part. Here we want to get the rock stun because, like we said, the single target's very important. The camp is the most important part, and having, my E and W now makes this so much easier and safer for me to do. Here, I kind of want to boulder the next camp over so I can just sort of have that advantage of starting it late or earlier. Yeah, sorry, the Jax threw me off. My mind is just like, what does this guy usually invade like this? Jax jungle is crazy, bro. But here I'm going to have a really good full clear, and we should be able to get level 4. We're going to be playing for this play here. So here I'm going to definitely kill whoever I can. I'm going to just have to sneak up here. So what we're going to do is just pretty much sneak up. Here, Zeri, we can just go. And the wave is frozen, so I'm happy. Jax is going to go for the crab, but I'm happy to fight him. My E might be down, but I think if Tristana moves here, we can get like a little combination action going. Always use the worked ground on the wall. Jax just finishes clear, but I think it might be good for us to fight here. He should not really have anything left. His E is down. Counter-Strike's a very important ability. He should have people now, but I have my E ready. I have to flash the card. But I think he might get him. Okay, that's good. No! The flash. I mean, that's worth it. He will die. I'm actually really happy with this early game. Now we go into the Codex. Codex is really important buy. I didn't really touch on the runes, but Dark Harvest, free boots. You always want to go free boots. The other options go first strike. Whatever you like. This early game is extremely good for me. I mean, 25 CS. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't... It's going to get easier. The first clear, if you're getting cheese like that, it can be hard, especially when you're playing the game. But having like an AD mid like Tristana You know, it can make the game a lot easier now. So here you always want to have your E ready. Jax we see on bot side, that's extremely good for me. So I'm just going to start, you know, the Void Grubs right now. Your E does so much damage. She's extremely good. I'm going to smite and just get ready to kill one. Here I like to line it up a bit more so my AoE and my Q can just hit, you know, bounce between the two. You don't really have to W. W doesn't really do damage unless you can move it into the rocks. Your W purpose serves the purpose of your W is to pretty much knock them into your rocks or knock them away. It's your defensive ability. And a lot of people say like, oh, the kit pretty much like it's so important to hit your W. It's actually not as important to hit your W as it is to just time your E better. So a lot of times when you play Taliyah jungle, just always look for the E first and then look for the W. You're going to see it's much easier to kind of... It's going to be much easier for you to kind of play when you have this sort of mindset that you play more around your E. Your E slows, right? So the effectiveness is very good. And your E pretty much guarantees the stun if the target dashes through it. So that's why Taliyah jungle always have this sort of advantage during against these sort of like Jax champions or Zeri. And that's usually what you want to think about. You always want to think about, is this champion, you know, does my E just create this barrier around them? Here I'm going to be 6, so I'm just looking at the wave there to see what's going on. Jax could do dragon. I could do dragon as well. So I'm just going to hit the plant to see if he's on it. If he's not on it, we saw him bot side earlier. And what that kind of tells me is most likely that he is top side farming because he eventually has to go top side, right? Because if he was bot side farming when I was on Void Grubs, the only option for him is to actually just be there. So here you can always just use the boulders as well. I'm kind of saving my E because I'm probably going to do a play bot maybe after this, or maybe look for a TF kill. But either way, the dragon's going to be killed and then I'm going to play really aggressive. So here potentially we could fight. I could pink here, but I'm not necessarily interested. I'm really interested in mid, right? Because what happened? TF flashes and tried to kill me. It's an important thing to remember. Here I'm going to pink. Drop my ward there. I'm going to keep a pink here. So I'm pretty much going for just like full control on the mid situation. I just want to see how the Jax is going to react to me and how the TF is going to react to here. Here we have the W, so we can easily stun and set up with Tristana. Right, you always just want to play where your teammates are strong, where you are strong. Here, if I have my item, I'll probably base. I'm a bit short still. I think Jax will be bot side, so I'm thinking, do I want to counter gank here? I don't know. If I'm counter ganking, if this guy dashes in, we should be able to kill. He might have saw me. Here, I could get a ward, but it looks like it's warded, so I'm just going to leave. I'm not, like, I have a good read on, you know, how people move when it's warded is much different. So you can always kind of play around that, but you really don't want to waste too much time if it's warded. I think Jax has to be bot side. And I think my ball lane is kind of playing really aggressive, but also I have Tristana moving, so we have an option to gank. So whether I want to force it with my R or if I just want to base and get my item, both are fine. TF is looking to port bot side. So here I just have my item, right? Like, I'm not going to force a fight that I don't know is good, right? I think Janna has a lot of disengage abilities. I think Zeri is quite hard to get on. I think getting this buy is really good for me. I think Jax might be in my top side. Invading if he doesn't show bots. I just want to see what's going on. TF could pour on me here if I go, so I just have to be very cautious about how I look at this situation. Crab died a while ago, so he could actually just be on his top side now. So I'm just going to peek his camps to see what's going on. Raptors are still up. Top situation seems fine. Rugs are down. Okay. So I have a good idea of like what the path is that he took. So I'm just going to start taking his Raptors. I'm going to be playing for Void Grubs too. A trinket here. Or maybe hit that. Beautiful done, Tristana. He was hugging the left side, so that just set me up with a really good option to hit that ability. Here, this guy's mini Gnar. I could R on this. So what we're gonna do is R right away and just try to get into range. We always want to E, get the stun, and then W out. Smite here, get the boulder, and boom. Pocket kill. Your R like some people try to get fancy with it, like always cut people off from directions. Honestly, it's just an instant gank ability. Like when you have R, you have the ability to just instantly gank them. And the laners will always die. And when I gank, I try to focus on hitting Qs more than I do like hitting my W. I think people, when they're playing like Taliyah, the biggest mistake they make is they over focus on like, I have to hit the W, I have to hit the E. But realistically, the most important thing when you're playing Taliyah is actually just hitting the Qs. You can literally miss every W and it will not matter, right? It's just make sure you Q them and hit the E and just point the E in the right direction and you're going to have a good time playing Taliyah jungle. That's all you really have to focus on. That's the priority and that's what you need to prioritize. Focus on queuing. Move your champion with the Q, right? It's like a bit of a dance. A very important thing to remember. Here, I don't really want to base. I think bot side fighting is spicy. I could try to cover top side if the Snar is going to go for plates. But it's so spicy. I wish I was bot side. I want to be a part of this fighting. Here, this is like where I would cover a wave. I cover top side because, you know, Grag gets everyone TP's bot side. They're winning the fight, which is good. But for me, I need to just cover this. So here, I'm going to wait for my mana to regen a bit more. There's no rush on doing this. And then I'm just going to walk in. Here, I'm going to just Q. Not really going to be able to kill him. The reason being is that... Oh, what the hell? This guy's crazy. We gotta run our scoops. All right, no flash on him. Well, I had no plans on fighting him there, but he just wanted to dive me. I'm gonna base. I'm gonna get my buy, then I'm gonna play for dragon. I'm too low to be on the map right now. The Nar had ambitions. I respected. My build, my second is to go into Liandry's, and that's our goal right now. Is to get Liandry's. I love Liandry's second. You can go pen items too. Like you can go like Storm Surge, Shadow Flame. Zhonya's third is generally the best though. I'm probably gonna have it Zhonya's third. This is usually your go-to building. This is your optimization for your build. There's flexibilities if you don't want Liandry's. This game, there's pretty beefy, so I'm gonna go Liandry's. If they're really like, if you have a lot of you're sort of like the solo AP on your team, you can go Storm Surge or Shadow Flame to maximize, you know, your AP damage. But this game, obviously, we have a lot of AP in our team, so we don't do that, okay? So this game, we go Liandry's. In most of the situations, if you're not like the only AP, you should go Liandry's. You're like super good at slowing objectives. If someone comes, I'm pretty much okay with it. They already use a lot of resources. I would like to go farm right after this, so I hope there isn't really like a big fight. I'm just gonna smite and kill it. Once you get the dragon, it's sort of like your job is like, okay, my job's sort of over for a bit. Like I can go farm. Like the objective's down. This is like freedom to farm is how I look at it. And then I like to clear like one side of my jungle. And I also like to continue playing with a person who I think is playing quite well this game, right? Like Tristana's been doing really well. We have Synergy, an AD champion who does a lot of damage, an AP who sets up really well, like me. So I really like continuously playing around. Uh-oh. You know, the champion that's been playing well around me. Here I do have R, so when you have your R's up, you can actually set up this guy. Not really interested in going for him. I think he's going to push and leave. So realistically, what we want to do is we want to go and actually stop this. I want to get the pink too. Here I'm actually kind of hoping. I was like, I'm hoping this guy jumps on me because I have my E ability. It was a big thing we talked about too. Is actually how we just sort of counter champions like that. Anyone who has a dash, remember, set up the E, you stun them. And then pretty much once they're stunned, you guarantee to hit the W after. That's like a big thing. I want you, if you're trying to learn Taliyah, you really have to remember. Always get the E out first, especially when a champion wants to dash at you. And then once they're stunned, you pretty much get a free W right after that. Very, very easy. Oops. And just practice your Qs. Like, look how I move, right? Like, if I move, if a champion's moving, I'm always moving left and right to kind of practice hitting my rocks against them. What's going on there? And here I'm kind of going in farm mode. I mean, when there's not much going on, if the play looks like it's a forced play, go farm, right? Like don't go crazy. Like don't force so many plays on Taliyah jungle. You're literally going to lose the game. Just it's okay to farm. Like be fine in the silence of farming. This guy goes for this tower. We're gonna go stop him, but if he's not, we're just gonna get the wave. Catching waves is fine too. You know, like you just have to learn the farming game before you kind of go crazy with a champion, especially like Taliyah. Here we're going for Leandries. I'm pretty close. I usually don't like AFK farming so hard like this, but it's just one of those games where I feel like I'm not going to get punished, and I kind of know that I'm not going to get punished. Here I'm going to check crab timer. Crab timer is actually short. This could be dangerous, this invade, but I think he's here. I'm seeing that was bad, but I think okay, no, I'm definitely trolling here. Get him, big boy. That angle, I mean, the pink just ruins it. If I cleared the pink, maybe I could come re-enter. Way too dangerous. Good job, Gragas, though, big boy. Very strong boy. And that's a bad. That was bad. Silly. Unnecessary. Don't need to do that. Greed's a sin. You do not be greedy. I could have just cleared my Krugs, reset. I could have done so much more. I just know he's here. I don't know whether he's on this or the Gromp. I just know he's either on one of those. I should assume that he is going to have a good position. I mean, missing W there was obviously not good. And you know, like messing up like that, it's acceptable a couple times, but you just can't continuously keep doing that. So you always want to keep it like to a minimal amount where you mess up. Really minimize that kind of stuff. Here I'm going for like the Leandries buy. We have Herald up. We could easily Herald here too, which is not bad. Arina Zeri is not that good, and the reason why, it's actually because she can just straight up E anywhere. But getting this crash, I might be able to make a play after. Here I'm gonna set up another hit. People could try to go on me from behind, but so far it seems fine. Keep going on this, and we're gonna flash out a bit. Oh, damn. I'm lagging a bit. Hold on, let me close some stuff. I should have W'd the Zeri. W'ing the Janna didn't help in that situation. But Tristana should clean up a bit. But make sure you just hit the E, and then the E from there. You saw the Jax was stunned. We can continue chasing. Extremely good. Extremely OP for us to do that. And honestly, the game gets so much easier. Once you get Zhonya's in this situation, when I get like Zhonya's third, I'm pretty much unkillable. I'm not going to die. They are. There's no chance. But like overall, like even not even talking about the future, just so far the early to mid game, getting every objective, helping the winning lanes win like this is essential. This is exactly how you're going to be winning, you know, in jungle right now in this kind of meta. I don't want to really R unless they go in. So I just want to see how they kind of play. Here I have W. I'm going to R to chase now. Keep chasing, going wherever I can. There was someone low here. I think it might have been Jax. So I'm just going to peek a bit, see what's going on. Maybe going Zeri here. As I think she's going to dash, hit the W. Kite back as I'm hitting. I mean, now if he dashes at me, he's just dead. No! He actually kills me. Where were you, Brand? You were right next to me. You just ran away. I tossed so many rocks at him, too. Have another rock. Have another rock. He's actually here, 100%. But overall, that's not bad. I mean, we should have got the dragon. I should have died, too. But it's okay. Things happen. Things happen. I'm going to get my Zhonya soon. We always want to go into the Seekers component. Very OP. The component of Seekers is extremely broken. If I could buy it now, I'd be happy. If not, it's all good. And a lot of times you're going to go in with like a combo, then you're going to sort of use your R to kind of continue the chase. As you saw in that situation, I was able to kind of like chunk the Janna, do a lot of my damage, and then sort of go in with my R after. I feel like a lot of newer players when they play Taliyah 2, especially, they're always thinking about having to like R to engage. You don't have to R to engage. You can easily R like later, and it's not a big deal. So yeah, don't feel the need that you have to like ulti right away. Here, I'm gonna just try to stack them both to kind of speed up my clear a bit here. You can ulti to engage. Don't get me wrong, you can do that, but you don't have to do that. I think Tristana's inting a bit here. Maybe I can help her though. I can get this guy here. Remember, we always want to kite as much as possible. Play around the rocks. Throw as many rocks at them as you can. Oh, let's have another rock. And you're like, the boulder, Taliyah doesn't handle this kind of prejudice. Here I would like to do Baron, but because Tristana's not here, it's a bit tricky. But there I was playing a lot with my Q range. Missing the W on Janna. You know, it was sad, right? Like, I should hit those. And I apologize for that. But like getting the kill afterwards is what really is the important part. So here we can definitely do it. I just think I'm gonna have to sacrifice Brand for it. You know, a noble sacrifice. He just needs to get another passive trick pick going on. Oh, I'm gonna need my big boy to get in there one more time. Now he's doing good. Doing a good boy. Doing a good job there, Brand. You're doing a really good job there, Brand. You're such a good boy, Brand. You're such a good boy. Now if we can get the Zhonya's, I'm literally like 2 camps short. Oh, I'm just gonna base anyways. Void is usually later in, like later on you want the Void. Blue Orb is really good. I should have switched to Blue Orb on Taliyah. Here, I don't have R, so I'm just gonna run through. I'm always using the walls as I'm running. They will probably... Yeah, they're actually able to get out. Here, I'm gonna try to join in. Oh, I'm lagging. What the hell? Maybe I can get out. Maybe not. Oh, man. So sad, man. So sad, bro. So very sad. But it's okay. That, I mean, I should have pinked the brush first, if anything. And that was like a big mistake there. I still have Zhonya, so using the Seekers is never bad. The good thing about the Arm Guard, it doesn't really change what happens with the item. You're eventually going to upgrade it. You're eventually going to get Zhonya, so it's a very powerful thing. So you're going to be really happy with it. And later in the game, you're going to have the Zhonya's ability. You always want to kind of... Like, obviously, I don't want to play, like, melee range. I'm always trying to play, like, farther back if I can. If you play farther back, you're naturally going to have a much better time. And doing as much damage as possible. Liandry's is always going to be a really big part about your damage in your kit. So you're always going to have the option with the Liandry's to be a very high. Honestly, it looks like the Void Grubbies are doing a good job by itself. Next patch with the Void Grubs buffed out, it's going to be very big. Hopefully I can join in on my team. Hopefully. We do have the R though. Just want to get my revenge a bit. But yeah, I'll probably do a better Taliyah jungle video in the future. Hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know some champions you'd like to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck in your games.